Hello and welcome back to Projects in Java. Today we're going to have the last video of our Servlet project. We're going to work on the editor class, creating two servlets for that class. So let's go to our project and let's create the first servlet. And this servlet is going to read the file and output it back to the applet. We're going to call this file read. And we're going to use the doPost method. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to read the data. So let's go ahead and copy this. Then we're going to get the session so that we know what user we're working with. Then we're going to have a string called f. This is going to equal c/the folder we're using. Then we're going to get the user attribute. And then another slash. And then plus the file that we're using. And then we're going to create a new file with that string. And we're going to set an attribute. This is going to be the file, and we'll pass it f. Then we'll also have an output writer. So let's copy this. And if the file exists, we're going to create a buffered reader and read in the file. Now we're going to have a string called line, and we'll read the first line. And while line does not equal null, we'll write the line to the output string. And then read in the next line. And then we'll close the file. And then after this, we'll flush the writer and close the writer. And so now that we have the servlet, we need to edit the editor so that it will use this input. And so here we'll create a new URL. And we'll copy these lines. And so here we'll write the string S, that's the file name, and then we'll close the output writer. And then here in our buffered reader, we just need to change it to the connection stream. So here we'll have input stream reader. And past that, the connection input stream. And then we also need to update this link. So this will be file read. And that should take care of reading the file. So now we have to create another servlet. And this one is going to be to write to the file. So we'll call this file write. And here in the do post method, we'll copy this from file read. So we're going to need the session also. And the output stream writer. And then here we'll create a file writer. Call this out and equals new file writer. We're going to have a new file and we'll call string to our session attribute. And we're going to call session.getAttribute. And the attribute we're going to get is file. And then while data does not equal null, we'll write to the file. So out.write data plus a new line. And then read the next line. So data equals reader.readLine. And at the end, we'll close the file writer. And the last thing we'll do is set the response code. So we can just copy this. And that should take care of the servlet. Now, again, let's change the editor to handle this. So we'll copy this. And change this to file write. And we're going to write text.getText. And then close the connection. And then we'll get the response code. So int rc is equal to connection.getResponseCode. And so we don't necessarily need to use this response code, but we do need to request it, otherwise the servlet won't handle the post. So let me just make sure we have everything set up correctly before we test this. And actually we don't need this file. And this condition statement, we can take this out. And so now let's go copy our classes. And then let's launch Internet Explorer again. Go to localhost. Let's log in and try to open a file. And there's the text from the file. Let's try to write. So we saved it and closed. Now let's go check our folder here. And so there we have the new text. And this completes our project. There are a lot of other things you can do with servlets, so hope you use this information in future projects.